Hello and welcome to the ISCA Thursday Super Cup Series. And this is going to be a good one. We are crowning a champion here tonight in, of course, the virtual Phoenix Raceway. We have 195 laps here set to happen in the ButtKicker 195. And it's going to come down to 4 drivers. Who is going to get the title? We're going to see 2 Paradigm drivers, Josh Schaffner, Brandon Pasalacqua, go head-to-head, as well as we're going to see 2 EPI drivers. Of course, that is Patrick Gitter and Matt DeCiani. All 4 of these drivers are going to be going head-to-head. 2 different teams with 2 each. Of course, only one driver, though, can climb to the top and grab that trophy. My name is Brian Britt. I have none other than Big Al as my co-commentator here tonight. Big Al, I mean, the intensity is so high right now. You cannot make a mistake here tonight. How you feeling? What's your thoughts?
I think it's a duel in the desert, Brian, and I think, first off, hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation. And I guarantee you it's going to be nothing short of spectacular. We always end these things under the best terms, and I think tonight's going to be no exception. I mean, look at what we got. I mean, the Paradigm team, they're a newly formed team here, and here they are with 2 members competing for this championship going against, EPI. So it's just, I mean, wow. It's just good versus gooder, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to say it, good versus gooder. I definitely think both of these teams have been incredibly strong all season long. And they've earned every win and good finish they've gotten. Of course, what we've seen lately, though, has been the heating up of the EPI crew. What can Paradigm do here in this race? This is going to be a tough one. Well, one thing that we're going to get into a little bit later as well is the dynamic between DeCiani and Patrick Gitter. We've seen these drivers kind of helping each other out throughout the season. I don't think that's going to be the case here tonight, just considering only one person can be champion. And they're going to have to settle it out, the fight. They're going to have to fight it out, Big Al.
There can be only one. And this is the question. When it comes down to it, when the fecal matter impacts that rotary oscillating device, where do your alliances, I mean, where does it end? I mean, is this versus me for the good of me, or is it for the good of the team? And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised to find out the answer to that tonight, because I think it's for the good of me.
No, I definitely think you're right. I think it's going to be a lot more selfishness here this evening. I think it's going to be a lot more about, hey, I want to be champion. But let's go ahead and get into the race facts of tonight's race course. This is the ButtKicker 195 here at Phoenix. 195 laps here tonight, fairly simple. Stages 40 and 90 at this mile track, so we've got 195 miles ahead of us. 4 sets of tires down in the pits, 5 altogether. Tires are going to be a big deal here at this track. This is a very unique racetrack. Fuel window, of course, 92 laps. Talk about this being a mile track. You even would call this racetrack an oval. I don't know. I mean, this is a unique racetrack here at Phoenix. I mean, you got that open dog leg, Big Al, and that could be the site of some crashes.
Hell yeah. Because honestly, we talked about this before, and we don't believe when they created that it was actually designed for, say, cup cars to come careening off of the turn and just diving into there.
Speaking of careening off the turn, look at Patrick Gitter just kind of just spun himself down there. That's gonna happen. And one thing about it, these cars don't handle that well down there as well. And I think the change in banking possibly even damages the race car a little bit. Well, we're gonna definitely have to see.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to bang it out here tonight.
That we are. Of course, a minute left here in qualifying. I do believe most drivers have gotten their qualifying in. I do believe one is still out there. I thought that was Josh Schaffner. Looks like no, he is finished as well. So we have about 50 seconds remaining in qualifying. Definitely going to be an interesting one. Let's take a look at the track facts right now. See how hot it is here at Phoenix. And of course, you see 88 degrees on the actual track surface here at this 1 mile racetrack in Avondale, Arizona. So big journey from Martinsville all the way here to Arizona, but we're definitely ready for it. The wind's not too bad, about 5 miles an hour. Of course, going towards the east. And I think now's the perfect time. We'll go ahead and take that step away, play our national anthem, and let's get ready to crown a champion. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad strides and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular of Martinsville singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms, from camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten. If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
Or there, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm so comfortable, bro. We get a hug, man. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ISCA Stock Car, or should I say ISCA Stock Car Association here at Phoenix. We are here to crown a champion. Of course, qualifying on the pole is Derek Heitman with a 27.292. Very fast lap from him. Of course, qualified in second place is Patrick Gitter, one of the championship hopefuls here tonight. Qualified in that third place position is Shane Parrish. Of course, Matt DeCiani qualified in fourth. So that is a EPI second through fourth. So very good qualifying effort there from those drivers. Fifth place, of course, the paradigm driver of Brandon Pasalacqua. Sixth place, Brian Johnson. Seventh place, Miller Bonds. Randy Mullins is starting in eighth. Ninth place, Josh Jobner, another championship hopeful. Jeffrey Souza starts in 10th. 11th place, Frank Flores.
That's going to put Randy Belk in 12th with Greg Wachinski in 13th. Jerry Walters starts in 14th. Kenny Powell, 15th. 16th place shows Alexander Carr with Mark Sanchez rolling off in 17th. 18th shows Chris T. Johnson. 19th place, we got Ryan Strunken. In 20th, John Binder. Allison Nolan in 21st. And Greg Carr and Derek Jacobs round out this 23-car field.
And as you can see, we're already getting everybody kind of lined up and ready to go. Pace car has dipped down pit road. Of course, fortunately, we still have a couple sets of corners before the green flag comes out. That's one thing that's really unique about this racetrack as well is the restart procedure as Derek Heitman gets prepared to go to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out for the first time here at Phoenix, and what a start from, of course, the 76 of Heitman. And here comes Pasalacqua, already making some big moves here to try to get up into the top three.
Yeah, we got a lot of cars that we're trying to put together, and that's the one thing about Phoenix, man. We got some broad shoulders on this track. So these turns aren't just like normal turns as we're actually starting to get this first lap in the books.
And already we see that Brandon Pasalacqua has dived his way up to that fourth place position. You see Brian Johnson's on the high side, of course, battling with Shane Parrish. Parrish started in third, has already been dropping positions. Oh, we see problems. Frank Flores very loose further back.
And he's going to slide up the racetrack just a little bit. The green flag racing continues. Still got to get a kick out of that 23 car, that Binder sun drop machine. That's definitely got to be my most favorite car.
Yeah, he wins the championship when it comes to paint schemes. Is that right? And, of course, Patrick Gitter, though, out in control. He's gotten by Derek Heitman and is in control of his destiny right now to possibly, actually secure that crown. Can he drive away? Is he going to burn his tires up? We're going to definitely see. Of course, you see Brandon Pasalacqua really starting to try to pressure Matt DeCiani, another championship hopeful. For at the moment, we see 3 out of the top 4 are in the championship 4.
But I'm hoping, I know DeCiani is hoping that he'll actually be able to get up, get around Derek Heitman and actually make himself a contender there. But right now, it looks like Patrick Gitter's kind of got it dialed in. Or do you think that maybe Heitman just kind of hauled back so he wouldn't actually get involved in that championshipness?
I don't know. I mean, that's definitely a very good question. I don't think that Heitman is really scared to get up here and really battle it out. I don't really think that he's just going to give these guys, positions. I think he's going to battle just as hard as anybody. As we see a big battle between, of course, Miller Bonds and Shane Parrish. So I'm sorry, that's Brian Johnson. That's for that 5th place position. Here comes Bonds to the inside, trying to get underneath the 4 machine. See if he's going to be able to get the pass very close as you see Brian Johnson able to slam the door on the 12.
A lot of excitement here, Brian, as we are bringing this one season to an end. Seems like we're getting started with a whole new chapter here in ISCA. A chapter is going to bring us a lot of excitement, a lot of new names coming onto the scene that are definitely starting to mix it up a little bit, and that's just going to mean tons of more excitement for the fans at
Whoa!
home.
A little bit of a sin there.
The 14 gets into the back of, I believe that was Shane Parrish there. I don't know if that was a little bit of a hey you or if that was a little bit of hey my bad.
New paint scheme as well for the 66 of Shane Parrish. Really like that machine. Looks really good, real sharp. And apparently Jeffrey Souza does not feel the same. Apparently he's just like, I'm going to bump you right on out the way. But fortunately, Parrish was able to save it.
Oh, and there he goes. Souza goes around. That is definitely going to bring out caution for the first time here.
Whoa.
Heads up to the drivers on the track. Watch out. We're still not done yet.
That was a close one.
Got a little bit loose there, Brian, and as he did, he got a full 360 view of the racetrack.
That he did. Luckily, I don't think he hit anything, and no one seemed to hit him. Let's take a look back and see exactly what happened here. Taking a look back here at Jeffrey Souza. Of course, he had gotten into the rear end of the 66, and right there just got loose on the exit of turn 4. Very easy to get loose right there. This is probably the most treacherous place to get loose. As you see how close that was from some of the other drivers. They almost got into him. And Souza, of course, started up in the top 10. Is going to fall all the way back to way outside of the top 10 now.
And you actually forget how tricky turn 4 is because all of these guys just roll around it like it's nothing. But that's like dead man's curve, for lack of a better term, because at this track, once you're coming off of turn 4, if you're not holding your mouth right, I mean, anything, she'll go around on you. And that's exactly what happened. A little bit out of character, but yeah, definitely something that is not out of character for the track. Well,
and one thing that has been really different here with these next-gen cars going down on that dog leg, and the Gen 6, before the introduction of these next-gen cars, it was a lot easier to go down on that dog leg, and it wouldn't really hurt the car, and the car would stay gripped up. But these next-gens, for some reason, whenever you kind of hit that different level of banking, that transition that goes down to that dog leg, it unsettles the car quite a bit, and these, depending on your setup, it can definitely unsettle the car and unseal that diffuser. Those diffusers that are going underneath this race car, if you unseal that to the track, the car all of a sudden is going to lose grip. And that's exactly what happens.
Might have something to do with that independent rear suspension. That is something that is new here on this next-gen car. But so many updates between this car and its predecessor that I think sometimes we'll just lose focus of just how much our sport as well as this car has changed.
Yeah, and I think we got a lot more changes to come as well on iRacing and in real life. I mean, we got the introduction of the new Mustang as well. I think it was called the Dark Horse. I don't know if I've seen some pictures of it. That's a sharp-looking Mustang. I'm sure you're happy to see that as well, you being a Ford lover.
I got that 2024 sitting in the driveway already, and definitely excited to see that they're bringing it in the next gen. Because keep it the terms, and the lights are off on the pace car. He's going to be getting up and out of the way here real soon, and we'll be going back racing here, Brian, just in the nick of time. Gonna have about 30 laps to go here in this stage before it's in the books.
That is correct. Of course, this stage will be ending on lap 40, going to 41, and stage points don't matter for the championship here. The championship, Super Cup championship, of course, it does matter for the Cup Series title. Keep in mind there is a secondary Cup Series championship that is going on right now, and we're well into that as well. So a lot of drivers are fighting for points in that as well. As here we go, of course, Patrick Gitter going to be set to take the green here in just a moment. Enters the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out. Good restart there for Gitter. I think he gave a little bit of a heads up as well to DeCiani. Even though they are competitors, they still can't help each other. I think towards the end of the race, that help is going to go away as we see a duel for the second place position.
Yeah, Heitman obviously not getting the memo as he was kind of left out to his own devices. Miller Bond's making a move down to the inside, but further up ahead of him, that is where the action is, as we are watching Matt DeCiani on the inside of Derek Heitman trying to make the move so he can secure second place. But the longer these two kind of duel it out, because this track really probably doesn't play fair to that, but the longer they duel it out, the more trouble they're going to have here in the near term.
Well, what's really interesting as well, they've been kind of being quiet. Oh, there goes Shane Parrish. Big wiggles for Shane Parrish as he loses a lot of positions. Not exactly sure what happened to the 66. I'm going to take a quick look back. Taking a look here at the 66 here. And we're watching him, of course. I do believe he might have had that same. Oh, he looks like he got loose out of turn 2, which is interesting. Haven't seen a whole lot of guys getting loose out of that corner. I don't think anybody's hit him or anything, but he's going to lose a lot of spots based on that. As he tries to recover, you see he is, of course, right behind Frank Flores. But looking back up towards the front.
In front of Frank Flores, though, that's where you got a battle going on between Randy Belk and Ryan Strunk. These two guys have definitely got something going on. We'll definitely have to watch out for that. But, yeah, you're right. Let's transition back to the lead.
And, of course, we see Derek Heitman has secured that position from Matt DeCiani. But I was kind of trying to get to this before we saw the issues for Shane Parrish. But look at Paradigm. They have quietly worked their way up into the top 5. You see Brandon Pastelacqua, of course, up to 4th. This is the highest he's been running. Brian Johnson, he's in 5th now. Josh Schaffner, another of the championship 4. He's up to now 7th, right now tussling with Miller Bonds. So don't forget about the Iceman. Of course, Schaffner always a contender when it comes to races that, of course, are all about long run speed. And taking a look at the lap times right now, not a whole lot of fall off. Patrick Gitter last time by 27.767. Not the fastest lap right now. DeCiani actually a little bit faster. And one thing I'd like to talk about, Big Al, I know we even talked about it recently. DeCiani has been here recently, towards the end of the season, somewhat better than Gitter. I think that's kind of an interesting thing that could possibly play out. Could we see DeCiani come up here and claim the title when we've been talking about Gitter all season long?
Well, there's 4 drivers that have a shot at it tonight.
That's right.
Remember, the key is always making certain that your name is in the conversation, because if you're not one of those 4 guys, we're not talking about you. DeCiani has done that this season. He's remained relevant, and that's really hard to do. So, yeah, I think you might be onto something. I think you might have a 1 out of 4 shot at this thing.
Well, yeah, I definitely think he's definitely in the running. But here comes Josh Schaffner. He's going to try to rebound on Miller Bonds. You see Bonds, of course, non-playoff driver. He's been really, really quick since he joined the ISCA. Can't wait to see him actually going for a title. Little contact with the wall there out of turn number 4, as he has been aggressively trying to get by Brian Johnson. And, of course, that has put him right back in the target hairs, or the crosshairs, I should say, of Josh Schaffner.
I mean, he is in the Indian country if he could be. He's got Paradigm all around him. Question is, though, does Miller Bonds lay off tonight, let Schaffner go ahead and go by, or does he just keep, out there running his own race? We're going to see issues like that come up tonight, especially because this is it. This is the last hoorah ride. Yeah,
and of course, keep in mind as well that a lot of these drivers are still out here running for other the Cup Series championship. So, I mean, it's not just the Super Cup that is going on right now. So that's why it kind of makes it such a layered bean burrito, Big Al. They got multi-layers of cheese out here.
And for the people that don't understand that, this is race 4 of the actual next season, but the Super Cup race runs in conjunction with the NASCAR series. So that's the reason why Super Cup is actually ending tonight.
Yeah, this is the big kahuna. This is the Super Cup is the one that everybody wants to win. It is the, I'd say, really the crown. Yeah. If you want to be declared as the best ISCA driver, that's the one you want to win, because, I mean, it's a 36 or so race season versus the Cup Series season is more of a 12-week.
And that's a big deal because you're juggling schedules and personalities, and, there's even been team realignment. So there's a lot of things that go on in a span of 36 weeks. And then be able to do that and make it to the end, that's a pretty monumental feat. So we'll be cheering on these guys as we get this race going. Looks like we're going to have about 16 laps to go in this stage before stage 1 will be in the books. Stage point's probably not that big of a deal here tonight, but definitely drivers are going to be wanting to be up front because track position matters.
Yeah, no, I think, even was listening to some guys talk about the championship racing in real life here at Phoenix, and they were talking about how track position is the name of the game. You're really going to want to be up front, and you can clearly see that the guys up front right now are the cream of the crop. Looking at you see Patrick Gitter, of course, he's up front. He's got about 3/10 back to Derek Heitman. Of course, DeCiani right there on the tail end of the 76. But here comes Heitman. Heitman's starting to reel back in Gitter, and he might have a chance at possibly going for the lead here. But, of course, the Paradigm drivers, 4th place, 5th place, and 6th place, they're over a second back right now. They need to get it in gear. I don't know if they can maybe make some adjustments to the race car. Do they have more long run speed? But right now it's looking like the EPI boys are the championship favorites at the moment.
I mean, we can't call it right now. I think
not at all.
I think there is a request. There's a request for us to run every single one of these laps here tonight before we crown a champion. So
no, not at all.
We're just got to, yeah, I know. We're just going to see how it plays out.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just analyzing. I'm just saying it right now. It looks like the speed is with the 21 and DeCiani. But keep in mind, or Gitter and DeCiani, keep in mind, though, the track is going to change as well, Big Al. That we're going to see a lot of rubber laid down on this place, and I think that could affect as well who has the best car towards the end of this thing.
Yeah, not to mention that these stages are going to get longer. So you see some cars that are performing great in the short run. This one kind of got broke up a little bit there around lap 11, I think. But the biggest deal is how are these cars going to fashion once we get to the longer run, when they get more tires on them, and that when there's more rubber also that builds up on this track.
And, of course, look at this. Really great to see this. We got, of course, Brandon Pasalacqua. We're looking through his cockpit camera. We also have a camera in his room there that shows him actually operating his sim rig. Really love to see that, kind of have that insight on the look. You can see the looks on his face. You can definitely tell he is very much focused on winning this championship.
Absolutely.
And, of course, we also have Josh Schaffner as well. We have a camera from him. I wish we could get DeCiani and Gitter. That would be nice to have our championship for all of their cameras.
Yeah. Taking the fans into the drivers' homes. I love it. I think that's great. Man, as this season, though, just kind of does come to, an end, it's not even bittersweet, as we're going to be continuing to go. That, we were talking about that earlier, that, the ISCA never stops. That it's the race series that just never quits.
That's right. I mean, it could be Christmas. We're still racing. I mean, we're still. You're like, okay, I've got to go open the presents with my kids. No, you got to be racing. No, we're racing.
Well, you joke about that, but that would be a conversation that you would have with Kenny Powell. You would have to contact Kenny and say, hey, Kenny, I mean, it's Christmas. It fell on a Thursday this year. Just curious, are we racing? and the answer to that question is probably going to be, yeah, man, yeah, we're racing. We're same time.
That's right. I'm sorry, honey, I got to race. I know that the family's all here for Thanksgiving, but we got to race.
The show must go on.
Keep my turkey and dressing warm. As here we go, battle's starting to happen here. Chris Johnson has been really working his way forward. I'll tell you, I've been talking a lot of good about this driver. He has been doing phenomenal. Been seeing just a ton of a huge spark in the 99 here lately.
Yeah, absolutely. That whole realignment has definitely worked out in some people's benefit. Good to see Jeffrey Souza actually got it pointed back in the right direction now.
We got some big battles going on here, too.
Yeah, he and Shane Parrish still back there with Randy Belt. And I think if there's a source of tension, I think it's right here in this little trifecta here.
Oh, this is a big battle. This is kind of a battle right here for the edge of the top 10. Oh, Parrish almost getting up into Greg Wyszynski. A little bit of contact there. Wyszynski probably not going to be too happy about that one as Parrish has definitely been getting physical here lately. Souza as well drives by Greg Wachinski. Everybody trying to get by Wachinski here.
Yeah, definitely can tell that Wachinski's car's starting to maybe tires starting to fall off a little bit. A lot of drivers will be wanting to make some necessary adjustments once this stage comes to an end. That's another thing that we'll definitely see that might tide, because some guys might go in the right direction. Some guys probably going to work out pretty good with what they got here, but we're just going to be here trying to figure it out along with them, I guess.
Look at Frank Flores looking really good here tonight. He's on the verge of being up in the top 10 as well. He's up in 15th right now, working on 14th. Love to see this guy do well. Frank is just he's got a personality and a half, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy Frank Flores.
Speaking of Frank, we got a camera for him as well. Let's take a look on board with what Frank Flores has got going on. If anybody was curious what Triple F looks like.
Thank goodness those pictures don't have sounds.
Yeah, right. We would definitely have to be like, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Please avert your ears if you have any children. But of course, look at him doing really well in that race car. Definitely glad to see him out here on the track as well. Very much a valued member of the ISCA, and that's the one thing I love about this place. It's almost like we're all family, and this is about as family as you get when you get in the ISCA.
Absolutely. 3 laps to go before we can actually go on family break, family vacation, family whatever. The 62 of Jerry Walters is be coming off of pit road.
So Jerry Walters now 2 laps down. I'm wondering what happened here to the 62. Did he possibly get any damage?
I don't know if he was trying to short pit.
Well, it definitely did not work.
Stop. He had a full stop on pit road, 14.8, so that's 4 tires of fuel.
And that is a 4-tire stop, as he, of course, has gone 2 laps down now. It just went his 2nd lap down just now. And that, of course, split up Matt DeCiani. DeCiani has fallen back from Heitman. And, of course, Gitter, as we get ready to have the yellow flag come out. Of course, this is the last lap. But Patrick Gitter looking like he's going to come out of turn number 4 as your stage 1 winner. And the yellow flag is out. Patrick Gitter, stage 1 winner. He's won so many stages this season, and he's going to get another one. Derek Heitman, of course, in 2nd place. Matt DeCiani in 3rd. Brandon Passalacqua 4th. Brian Johnson in 5th. Josh Schaffner 6th. Miller Bonds in 7th. Chris Johnson 8th. Randy Mullins in 9th. Of course, Ryan Strunk in 10th. All those drivers will be getting stage points, which will be allocated for the Cup Series points. Will not matter at all for the Super Cup. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take a quick step away. We'll be right back, and we'll talk to our stage 1 winner.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms. From camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
Or there, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tough, bro. We get a hug. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Alrighty, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have our stage 1 winner Patrick Gitter in the booth here. Did he lose some spots on pit road, Gitter? What happened?
Yeah, I lost a spot. I think Matt's doing some experimenting here, so we'll see what happens here on this next restart.
I don't know if you want to be experimenting on the championship race. How's everything going, though, man? It seems like you got a really good shot at it. I mean, you've been, of course, you didn't qualify on the pole, but you took the lead fairly close to the beginning. How's it feeling?
Car feels good, man. We've been tweaking on it a little bit throughout the week, adjusting with the track temps, things like that, but it feels good. I mean, I think we've got a shot at it. I'm just happy to be here in the Final Four here. So just got to race smart, keep it clean, make it to the end, make sure I've got a shot when it matters.
That's right. Now, how are you guys going to handle that, you having a race with DeCiani? Has that changed the, kind of the game plan? Because I know you guys have been helping each other all season. Now you're competitors.
Yeah, man. Matt and I have worked so well together all season long. It's a big reason why we've even made it this far. So, yeah, I think it'll be, some pretty good teamwork, and then I'd say with about 5 to go, the gloves might come off. So we'll see when it gets down to it.
All right, well, definitely appreciate the insight, Patrick. Great job so far. Great season. So even if you don't get the championship here tonight, you definitely put on a heck of a show for us up here in the booth. Who can we give a shout out to before we let you get back to it?
I appreciate it. Shout out to you guys in the booth, calling all season long. Kenny for putting the league on. EPI, Team Con, Team Barton PC, Teammates, C12 Design Shop. They did this paint for me tonight. Just a special paint to commemorate the last race. I really appreciate Colby Whipple at C12 Design. So I guess we'll get back to it here. And again, appreciate it, fellas.
All righty. Well, thanks for your time and good luck.
Yes, sir.
All righty, that was Patrick Gitter. Definitely great talking to him and a lot of insight. Pace car now dipping down pit road as we get set for stage number 2. Of course, this stage is going to be going to lap 90 to 91. Can this experimenting work here for DeCiani, Big Al?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's his move to make right now. He's got nothing to lose but a championship, so.
Yeah, you just definitely knocked that one out of the park. He's got nothing to lose but a championship. As there it is, green flag is out, and DeCiani guns it. What a start for Matt DeCiani as well as Derek Heitman. Heitman almost seemed like he knew when to go. As here comes Brian Johnson, now side by side with Patrick Gitter trying to take away that 3rd spot. But there goes Gitter, back to the inside of Heitman, battles on for 2nd. And it looks like Derek Heitman, unfortunately, not going to be able to rotate as well as Patrick Gitter. Looks like Gitter has taken the 2nd position back. But Matt DeCiani, oh, look at that, how close. We got some problems with Brian Johnson and Derek Heitman, 3 wide. As, of course, Heitman, they were able to get it saved, but that was a very, very close deal as Brian Johnson had sent it in on Derek Heitman, and unfortunately the 4 got very, very tight. But luckily they were able to get out of that unscathed. That was almost a big deal, Big Al.
That was almost a big deal.
And of course, we got racing all over the racetrack. We see the 66 battling at the moment with Randy Belt. This is right on the edge of the top 10, as well as Jeffrey Souza. What a recovery from him. We saw him very loose earlier in the race out of turn number 4. Has now worked his way back up into 9th and is knocking on the back door of Josh Schaffner at the moment. But Matt DeCiani, with the interesting call, is now driving away from teammate Patrick Gitter. He's got over a half a second right now of a lead. Will this strategy call, or whatever he did, we really didn't get to the bottom of what he did to win that race off pit road.
Looks like he only took one side of tires.
Well, that's definitely curious.
Yeah, because he had a 10.5 time in the box. So that's mean he probably took right sides only in full fuel.
Well, that's definitely an interesting decision to make. I think it shows that it's worthwhile, but but I don't think it's going to be very good for the longevity of his equipment here. Now, I have heard of some guys and officials doing this for short runs, so I think this shows that DeCiani probably could make something like this happen if we had a late race caution. I just don't know if I'd be gambling this early, though. I guess maybe this is an experiment to see if this would work, and apparently it is working.
It's working, and I'm assuming that he was actually able to gamble track position. It must be that paramount, that he would actually, ditch a set of tires in order to get out front. And now he's out front, and he seems to be holding that position. We'll just have to see how it plays out as this stage continues to wind itself down.
No, I think you're right. I think this really does show the value of track position. Here comes Jeffrey Souza. He doesn't care that he's fighting with championship level competition, championship 4 drivers. He says, I want to drive past those championship 4 drivers as he makes the pass on Josh Schaffner. Now moves up into 8th place. Jeffrey Souza has got that thing handling good.
Let him race. Now he's got
loose.
Chris Johnson in his sights. And actually, he's got both Johnson brothers in his sights. How about that, Brian?
Oh, he has definitely got them both in his sights as he tries to get underneath the 99. I'll tell you, the 14 is looking really, really good. But I don't think Chris Johnson's the easiest driver to pass. But it looks like the 14 makes it happen. I'm telling you, that car is rotating really well in the short run. But I'm wondering, later in this race, as we continue in this stage, will that ill handling come back?
Yeah, that's what happens when your tires wear out.
Well, I just know
you
he's
can drive
out.
Well, you can drive it as hard as you want to. You just ain't gonna be able to drive it that hard that long.
That's right.
Because eventually everything's just gonna balance itself out all the way.
You could tell that Jeffrey Souza definitely using the shortest distance around the racetrack as well. You can see he's very much driving at the bottom of the racetrack, not wasting a whole lot of movement. He's definitely looking a little bit of contact with the wall. There's a little bit of waste.
Oh.
But here he comes, side by side.
A lot. Now, he is definitely trying to get out front, and that's something going on with that. I don't know if he's definitely trying to get around there and get into cleaner air, but he is definitely racing the field for a reason here.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get track position, I think. That way, possibly he can restart on lap 90, once this stage is over, in a better position. I think Souza, in these short runs, probably has the best car out of everybody here right now. But will it last, I think is the question.
Yeah, speaking of track position, Josh Schaffner, another one of those leader or championship 4 hopefuls, all the way back to 16th place.
Yeah, it looks like he is dropping spots left and right now. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I mean, if track position is as important as it seems, he is dropping like crazy right now. As well,
I think he's in
Go ahead.
I think he's in conservation mode.
I mean, I guess stage points don't matter, but I still think that track position is worth a lot right now. I feel like, Pasalacqua, he's up there in 3rd right now. He's got good track position. Matt DeCiani, Patrick Gitter, literally the top 3 are the other championship 4 drivers. What is Schaffner? Is this a gamble? I mean, is this? I just don't see how this would be a good idea to go back here and be in the 16th position. I mean, did something go wrong? Is my question.
No, I think you and I actually have the best vantage point to actually watch his strategy unfold. And I'm going to tell you, we're all going to find out about the same time if what Josh is doing is actually, if what Mr. Schaffner is doing is right or not.
Yeah, I have no clue. We'll definitely find out. I have no doubts or qualms or anything about that. I definitely think we're going to find out. But will we find out when it's the bad news? Hey, you didn't win the championship. Or will it be, hey, your strategy worked? I mean, but whatever he's doing, I know he's definitely a smart guy, very bold thinker. And I hope whatever it is works. I'll tell you what, who really has been bold here, though, was DeCiani with his strategy to, do a two-tire stop, and he's managed somehow to hold on to the lead for this entire stage thus far. As we see a big battle going on right now between Miller, Bonds, and Pasalacqua. This, of course, definitely not boding well for the 6 of Pasalacqua right now. As you can see, Bonds is definitely showing some significant speed. I'm telling you, this guy, everybody circle him. He is going to be somebody that we're going to watch try to, I think, fight for a title, whether it be a Cup Series title or a Super Cup Series title.
Now, I'm going to say something, and it's going to be pretty controversial.
When have you never said? You've always said stuff that's controversial, and we still let you call these races a Big Al, so you can't really say too much.
Well, if Schaffner's strategy just totally sucks, we'll never be able to ask him to find out.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Well,
because if
actually,
he's not in the top 3,
that's not really that true though, Big Al, considering. Yeah, at the end of this stage, if you decided to, you could be like, "Hey, I'm talking to Josh Schaffner." I mean,
not tonight though. Tonight's one of those nights where we gotta talk to the people that are bringing in the money. That's Josh Schaffner.
That's what I'm saying. He's Josh Schaffner is definitely somebody I'd want to see what his thought processes are here. But it looks like he's starting to move further back through the field again. He's up to 14th.
I'm telling you, he's conservative.
So I mean, I think that he could be just testing the water. I mean, DeCiani, of course, testing that strategy of his. I think Schaffner's like, hey, I'm going to use this as an experiment as well. But I think that Josh Schaffner's experiment is costing a lot more, considering he's further back here. Traffic. Traffic is the worst thing to be in at a track like Phoenix.
Yeah, but you said it best, right? Stage points don't matter. I think he's just back there where he's comfortable. As long as he's not taking any unnecessary risk, this generally isn't a track where you are going to per se have the big one. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. No, I mean, I definitely agree. The only thing that is on my mind, though, is that I think he's not taking a risk of getting involved in a crash. He's taking a risk of setting himself up for a bad stage 3. What I'm talking about with the traffic and track position, we've talked about how valuable track position seems to be here tonight. I mean, Matt DeCiani and Derek Heitman and Patrick Gitter have definitely been displaying that. Josh Schaffner following up all the way back to 14th. If he's in 14th at the start of stage 3, he is going to have to fight a uphill battle to get up to the top of the leaderboard here. I'm just saying, you don't want to set yourself up for a bad start to stage 3. That's when the real race begins.
I'm feeling you. I'm picking up everything that you're putting down, and I think you're onto something. However, I think Josh knows his strategy, so you're just going to have to let that one play out.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I definitely agree. I mean, he's definitely. If I was out here, and I wouldn't be anywhere close to performing as well as Schaffner performs. I mean, he's won races here in the ISCA. That is a claim that I do not have. I can't say I've won a race in this series, and a lot of other people on this service, some of the really top-level competition can't say they've won in this series. This is a hard series to win in. I mean, Matt DeCiani, Patrick Gitter, these guys are no slouches. Derek Heitman, these guys are no slouches. You don't win in this series by a fluke. And Schaffner, of course, is proved that he has the talent. And the know-how
it definitely takes talent, and it's one of the reasons why I probably don't race anymore, because just watching these guys, and I'm sitting there saying, what the heck is wrong with my stuff that I can't do what they do? But yeah, they're just a lot better at it. But it does take a tremendous amount of skill, and they do kind of make it look easy. That's the reason why I definitely think that whatever Mr. Schaffner's doing, he definitely has a plan. But look at Matt DeCiani thinking of a plan. He short staged himself, so to speak, only taking right side tires, and he's definitely showing that track position matters.
No, it definitely does. I mean, he's held strong for a long time. He's got 3/10. He's been keeping that gap at about that level on Gitter, and it doesn't seem like he's struggling too bad right now. I mean, heck, even both of these drivers, able to maintain a gap as well on Derek Heitman. So, no, I think that DeCiani, this play to get in front of Gitter, I think that's exactly what this was. This was a play to get in front of Gitter, and because Gitter even said, I think he's experimenting. I don't think that Gitter thought that it was going to be like this. I mean, I even was kind of doubting that this would be a good strategy. Like experimenting in the championship race, huh? But Matt DeCiani, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he's already a previous season champion. So this guy knows what it takes. So, I mean, I doubt him, but then again, I shouldn't because this guy's already got gold.
Looks like Jeffrey Sousa now starting to transition the wrong way. He's got Shane Parrish now coming right back up on him, and that's going to be a battle for 8th place.
Yeah, Parrish has definitely been
right.
He's been really good on the long run all season long. We've seen that time and time and time again. And just it's not a shock at all to see Shane Parrish doing this well. I think I'm surprised to be honest that he wasn't a member of the championship four. He missed that one race just because it was a road course race. Like if he had showed up for that one race, I think we'd be talking to him tonight, or he'd be a championship four driver.
Yeah.
A little bit of a changes in the top three. Derek Heitman is starting to catch up to Patrick Gitter. And, of course, we have now less than 15 laps to go in stage number 2. At the moment, Matt DeCiani, of course, is the leader. Patrick Gitter second. Derek Heitman is in third. Miller Bonds is in fourth. Brandon Pasalak was in fifth. Brian Johnson's in sixth. Chris Johnson seventh. Shane Parrish eighth. Jeffrey Sousa ninth. And Randy Bell, what a job from him. He's up in 10th right now. And of course, the race continues. The longest runs we've had have been, I do believe, pretty much 40 laps. So we're going to see about changing that, though, at the end of this race, considering in stage number 3, that one's, of course, going to be about 100 laps long. And field window's 92 laps.
No, this is the longest run that we've had thus far, Brian, at 35 laps, because that first stage was actually interrupted by a caution. I do believe right. Jeffrey Sousa spun out.
You are
looking
correct.
At where Sousa is. I'm not thinking that he has a long run car tonight, and I think he's okay with that.
No, I definitely think you're right. And my point really was that we haven't seen anything yet when it comes to who has the best long run car. Considering, like you even just said, 35 laps is the longest run we've had. This next stage, stage 3, this is going to be a big question mark beside a lot of these drivers who has the best car. As it looks like Derek Heitman has made the pass and has moved up into second place, getting by, of course, Patrick Gitter. Will he be able to take the lead now, or will DeCiani hold on for 10 more laps?
Still impressive what DeCiani's been able to do, and he actually saved 0.4 of a second in the pit box. So the fact now that he's coming up on 10 laps to go, and he's led every lap of this stage, that definitely has to be taken into consideration. We just hope that he's actually able to lead the last laps, because those are really the only ones that count.
Yeah, he has to lead the last lap. DeCiani wants to lead that last lap, win this race. But one thing about it, though, DeCiani has also made a lot of mistakes in his career. We've seen, of course.
Whoa.
I was talking about what was it, that road course race? I think it was Sonoma. He was the most dominant car at Sonoma, and he ran out of gas. You don't remember that? He literally whooping the field all race long and ran out of gas and lost because of it.
Man, you won't let him live that one down.
I'm not. I'm just saying that, it's so easy. this is a championship race. I'm just saying it's a chance people make mistakes. As we see Derek Heitman, he's going to try to steal this stage win away, as he is now side by side with Matt DeCiani. And it looks like he's going to make the pass stick. Well, not quite. Really close, though, as Heitman unloaded with a really fast race car here tonight. And it looks like he's going to make that pass. And now, with 7 laps to go, can DeCiani answer the call? I don't think so. I think Heitman has probably got this stage win on lock. Now with the clean air, does that car possibly, the handling might change. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Well, goodness gracious, I've never seen clean air make a car handle worse. I think he's going to be just fine, but DeCiani, though, definitely risking it for the biscuit. He'll get that award, just not enough to hold it off for the stage win, but it really doesn't matter, though, right? But I think he gathered a lot of valuable information.
No, he definitely did. I think the only bad thing about this is if he finishes in second place right here, that's going to, and he comes off of pit road in second place, that puts him on the outside road. And that's not the place you're going to want to be on a restart, really. So that's the only thing I'm thinking about is you're going to want to be, Patrick Gitter, who's going to be lined up behind Heitman in third place, because it's easier to, a lot of times, most tracks are like this, to where if you start in third place, you're going to get past second most of the time, because second is just not the best place to start a restart.
Yep, there's no trues rule in iRacing.
Of course, we do see some battles coming to fruition further back. Brandon Pasalacqua all over Miller Bonds. Bonds had gotten by these drivers, but I think Bonds might have burnt his stuff up.
Ooh, say that one more time.
I think he might have burnt his stuff up.
Man.
And here comes Parrish, though. Shane Parrish as well, putting a lot of pressure on Brian Johnson here. As well as you see Chris Johnson as well. Pretty big pack of cars right here.
A lot of guys gathered a lot of valuable information, and most of that says, man, my car sucks on old tires.
I'll tell you who's looking really, really good right now, and this is probably going to bring a smile on your, put a smile on your face. Josh Schaffner's on the edge of the top 10 right now, and he's running really, really, really competitive laps. I mean, he fell back to almost 9 seconds back from the leaders. He's now gotten himself back up to within 8 seconds. So he's been gaining time, and I think that experiment seems to be working for him.
2 laps to go here before stage 2 is in the books.
Here's a battle going on right now for, I do believe, the 8th place position, Parrish, or 7th, I should say. Parrish and the 99 of Chris Johnson battling hard right now. As here we are, starting the final lap of stage 2. And Derek Heitman out to a monster lead, 1.6 seconds on DeCiani.
Miller Bonds did everything he can to hold the Wolves at bay. That's what I'm going to say. But he's got the Paradigm guys stacked up behind him like 737s at JFK on a 4-day weekend of, coming up here for Thanksgiving.
And there it is. Yellow flag is out, and that concludes stage number 2. Derek Heitman, your stage 2 winner. Matt DeCiani, of course, 2nd place. Patrick Gitter in 3rd. Miller Bonds able to hold on and of course, finishes in 4th. Brandon Pasalacqua 5th. Brian Johnson in 8th, or should I say 6th place. So Chris Johnson 7th. Shane Parrish 8th. Randy Mullins in 9th. And Josh Schaffner makes it back up into the top 10. We're going to go ahead and take another brief step away. We'll be right back, and we'll talk to whoever Big Al wants to talk to.
Ow. Ew. Ow. Ew.
Want relief from tough pain without the tough taste? Try Goody's Cool Orange. Goody's fast, Goody's delicious. Because pain relief shouldn't be a pain to take. Goody's flavors, taking the pain out of pain relief.
Alrighty, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Derek Heitman able to win the race off pit road. Matt DeCiani comes off in second place. Patrick Gitter in third. So definitely a really good job there for the top three. Big Al, who we talking to?
Looks like we're going to be talking to Derek Heitman. Derek Heitman, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, congratulations to you, sir, for that Stage 2 victory.
Hey, thanks. It was a lot of work, but found a way to make it happen.
Yeah, so talk to us about the work, because looks like Matt DeCiani kind of short-pitted the stage there just a little bit, took one side of tires, and you actually had to walk through the field there. So what was your strategy there?
Strategy was honestly just drive it with pace, but be able to save tires at the same time. I got moved pretty hard in turn one at the start of that run. And then Brandon was nice enough just to let me go by him instead of fighting me. Same with Patrick. I think Patrick was just kind of laying off at how he was driving there to not give anything away and just monitor what kind of pace I was going to have.
Well, looks like this third and final stage has implications of not only, a race victory, but a championship. How much is that going to affect? Well, looks like I got to let you go because you got to get back to work here, bud. Appreciate your time. Good luck to you, and we'll talk at you a little bit later.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, who's about to be out here racing? We're going to be asking him questions there, Big Al. But man, I'll tell you, I'd like to have an answer to that question as well. Green flag is back out in the air. Derek Heitman up through the gears. Definitely looks like he's the man to beat here. And I'll tell you, in another parallel universe, he'd be in the championship for and possibly a champion right now. As we see side-by-side battle between the EPI duo. And I mentioned it. I called it. Starting on that inside, Patrick Gitter able to get past the one of DeCiani. And, of course, we see further back Brandon Postolacqua battling with Miller Bonds. As Bonds, of course, has a really good race car underneath him as well.
Well, this is that third and final stage, Brian. So this is where we're going to see green flag pit stops. I don't know. I don't foresee a reason to have a caution, but that's actually, I guess that's why they call them accidents. But this is not one of those tracks where it's really easy to conduct the green flag pit stop either.
No, you're definitely right. I mean, this is definitely, you're going to have to kind of pit. The way you enter pit road here is definitely kind of tricky. I mean, you could definitely end up having somebody hit you in the rear end when you're trying to come down there. But we'll see how that kind of plays out. Josh Schaffner, of course, works his way back up into ninth place. He got by Shane Parrish. As Kenny Powell side by side with Jeffrey Souza right now, of course, for I do believe 11th place.
Yeah, that's the name we hadn't mentioned a lot tonight. Kenny
Yeah.
Powell still having the pink number on his car for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, and Powell, of course, showed up here tonight. Didn't really practice. I mean, from what he was telling us, or telling me, he was like, I don't have any laps out here. I'm not going to probably finish this race. I'm probably going to be a starting park, from what he told me. I was like, oh, I hope not. And he was like, well, I haven't had any practice, Brian. What am I supposed to do? So look at him right now. I mean, running really good. I mean, on the edge of the top 10. I'll tell you, he doubts himself, but Kenny Powell, he can drive sometimes.
I think you got hustled.
I think so as well. I think he definitely hustled me. As, of course, the race for the lead starting to heat up a little bit. Heitman trying to hold off Patrick Gitter as we now start lap 100. We have done 100 laps here, 100 miles at Phoenix here. And what a season we have had. I wouldn't be surprised to see how many, we've definitely done thousands of miles over this season. I wonder what the actual figure is. We're going to have to do that calculation one of these days. But I'll tell you, we've called a lot of races here for the ISCA and don't have any plans of slowing down anytime soon.
No days off.
That's right. But Derek Heitman right now in control. Can he keep control of it? One thing we always see in the NASCAR Cup Series, Big Al, is usually the champion at the end of the season wins the race. Does that happen here tonight, or does Heitman come out here and steal the show?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But we got a lot of different things that we actually have to, a lot of firsts have to occur here before we can actually do that. Schaffner actually being the farthest of the four back, currently he's finding himself in 9th place. And we'll just kind of watch and see, because like you said, he put himself in a precarious situation because he was back there as far as he was.
Yeah, taking a look on board here with John Schaffner in that 50 machine. Of course, we can even see that the cockpit camera, or I should say the camera we have that is, of course, going to a feed of him sitting in his sim rig. So we can actually see the look of determination on his face. The Iceman looks like a stone statue right now, as he, of course, tries to work his way up to his teammate Chris Johnson. Does Johnson lay over and let the 50 get up here? Tell you what, Paradigm right now looks like they just need to refocus, maybe make some adjustments on their race cars. I'm telling you, Schaffner looks like he's handling well, but I'll tell you, these guys have to be perfect in order to be able to compete with the likes of Patrick Gitter and Matt DeCiani. But it looks like the car definitely handling well there in Josh Schaffner's hands. But I know, kind of go back to something I heard Martin Truex Jr. say recently about, not getting into the Final Four. He talked about how there's no room for any sort of mistakes at all. And I think that a lot of that could be applied to the ISCA as well. I mean, the talent level is so high in this series that, yes, you could be a guy that wins races all the time. But if you have almost even one off week in this series, you're going to end up suffering. And this is the race you do not want to have a bad week.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to look at it like this, but generally you want every lap to be perfect. You want your best lap for each lap, so that's perfection, and that means you can't be off. In general, you're going to find that in order to win this thing, it's going to come down to tenths of a second, and you cannot be off just a little and expect to win the game, nonetheless, championship.
No, 100%. I mean, everybody's lap times here are very, very close to one another. So it's like, the room like you said, I mean, the difference between a champion or a race winner is by hundreds, and sometimes even down to thousands. I mean, a lap difference. As, of course, Derek Heitman has shown that he is definitely a capable driver. As, of course, this is his first time at the Phoenix Raceway.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Gotta be.
Probably just put in the first laps there for qualifying.
That's what he always says, at least. But this is such a driver track as well, and I'm curious what your thoughts on this track being the site of the championship race are. Because, I mean, I know it used to be at the track we visited a couple weeks ago, Homestead.
Whew, man, two different tracks completely.
Well, I'm saying, do you think this should be the championship race, or do you have another track in mind?
I mean, you got to think about temperature-wise. Yeah, I think this is the best that you could get. I was watching the 25. Greg Carr looks like he got a little wobbly right there.
So temperature-wise.
No, sorry, my mistake. That was the 29 of Mark Sanchez. Yeah, temperature-wise, I'm saying you're limited to what tracks you can choose.
Okay. Okay. See. Okay. Okay. So yeah, because if you go to like Michigan, it's like snowing right now. You know, if you go to some track,
Right.
yeah, I got you.
And that not only affects the performance of the cars, but you got to think about it like this. This is this is a corporate sport. This is, especially the championship race, is a corporate event, right? So you don't want people being miserable. There's Sanchez again. He's having a hard time tonight.
That was Randy Mullins sideways there too. He's actually having a really good run here tonight. But I mean, that is crazy that we're limited by that. I didn't even that's definitely an interesting point. I'm glad you brought that up because I would never have even thought about that. I'm like, man, what racetrack puts on the best racing? That was my thought. But you're right. I mean, you got to also take into account that some tracks are not available to be ran at all year long.
And also the fans. You don't want the fans to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think about that. I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, who cares?" But the championship event is more of a corporate event because that's where you save your best tickets. That's where you take your best clients.
No, I got you. I'm just.
True.
Well, I mean, straight up racing though, product. Do you think Phoenix is it? Like, what if you weren't limited by temperature? What would you say?
I say yes, Phoenix is it, and I do believe that had a lot to do with the upgrades and improvements to the track because they kind of understand that they kind of corner the market there when it comes to that.
Yeah, definitely interesting for sure. As we see, of course.
Oh, is that Kenny Powell?
Not sure what you saw.
Nope. We got a car down on the infield. I think that's the 77 of Ryan Strunk.
Could very well be.
Got a car with yellow numbers on the top of it. Just kind of had a whoopsie.
It might have been the 54 of Randy Mullins again. I mean, I know he's been having some issues. Oh, yep, hit the wall there coming out of turn 2. Let's see if I think it might have been the 54 that you might have saw. Because he has been struggling a little bit on the handling. But it looks like I think he's righted the ship. And Derek Heitman, though, starting to be under fire. Patrick Gitter, I don't think he's been showing his full hand. He is all over Derek Heitman right now for this lead. As we're 118 laps into this race.
The 23 of Binder is actually down on pit road now.
So it looks like John Binder, your favorite car, having some issues.
Or he might just be calling it.
Well, it looks like he has just had a green flag stop, and he's actually back rolling again. So this is very early to be having a stop here.
Very early.
That's definitely interesting. 26 laps into this stint. That's way early.
With 76 laps to go.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just the car not handling very well for him. Definitely curious for sure. So still quite a bit of time until we see that first pit stop, I think, for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless he's just having one of those nights where nothing's going right. The car's just not handling good. And it's just no fun. Totally understand it, but take it on down there, get you a new set of, get you 4 good years and some petro, and call it, change your mouth and come on back out and give her another go.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. At least he's still out here racing. I mean, I know we've had some drivers that have already called it quits. Jerry Walters, Allison Nolan, of course, Derek Jacobs. I'm not sure exactly what happened to those drivers, but they're multiple laps down and haven't really seen a whole lot of drama on the racetrack. So I'm not sure exactly what happened to those guys, but Derek Heitman in control. He's the Pied Piper here at Phoenix at the moment. As, of course, we mentioned before, we're about 30 laps into this stint. And I do believe in the next probably 20 laps, that's when we'll probably see green flag stop start. That'll be a good way to split, I think, the race or this last stage in half. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. You want to probably just put it down half or maybe go a little bit more just as a cushion for not only fuel, but just, make sure you can drive it a little bit harder, a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's usually the strategy. A lot of drivers kind of do the overcut to kind of maybe go 5 laps longer. And that way you have 5 laps newer tires at the end of the race. And I think that's very much a valid strategy at a track like this.
Well, that Schaffner, man, he has actually moved his way all the way up to 8th place. He's just got a good pace going, man, making it happen out here tonight.
Yeah, he definitely is. Some pretty good lap times from him, 28.3 last time by. But I'll tell you who's been really good on the long run, Shane Parrish, 28.294. Very quick last time by for him. But fastest on the track, though, has been Derek Heitman with a 28.231. So we are starting to see fall off, but fall off is not as big as I thought it would be here tonight, which is kind of surprising. I mean, I just expected always that Phoenix to be a track that kind of burns the tires up, especially with the corners always being somewhat flat. But, of course, Goodyear brought us a pretty good tire here to Phoenix.
Yeah, they're right. I don't think we had a choice, but oopsie. Man, so what do you think? What would be your pick of a track?
I don't know, man. That's definitely a good question. I don't know. I mean, Iowa, something like that. I like Iowa, but I mean, I'm sure it's too cold up there in Iowa. That's my favorite track. I bet that one came out of
You getting ready to throw your biggest party? I mean, like, where would it be?
Oh, I mean, I'm just saying it pure, like, racing. Like, the best of the best, that track is, like, the best. You know what I mean? Like, you go to that track, like, the person that wins that race is the best driver that season. I just feel like that's what the championship race should exemplify.
I get you.
And, I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, I guess... Darlington being interesting. Want to see the championship race at. I mean, heck.
Do you like the current format?
Well, I think it definitely is entertaining, but I don't think it necessarily rewards the best driver. I think the old school way to do it, where it was just all points based, I think was the best way to determine who's actually the best driver.
You mean removing the stages?
Well, we got somebody slow on the bottom.
The 23, that is going to be...
Bonder blowing the engine here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, he has had some
sort of major
issue.
No, you know what I bet it is? Actually, let's pull him up. Can we get him? I bet he left his qualifying setup in.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's made it this far. It looks like he just got loose. No, this is based on contact, Big Al. He hit the outside wall. Remember that tricky spot we keep talking about, that dog leg? He hit the dog leg and the car broke loose.
John Bond, Big Al up in the booth.
Hey.
Yeah, well, you want to talk to us about what your experience was just a little bit there?
It's just a tight race car trying to get too much of it and got loose, and there's a wall out there.
Indeed, there was, man. Were you having trouble with handling all night, or was that something that just kind of manifested itself here later on?
The car's been tight all night. Just never can get it freed up enough for myself.
Yeah, because didn't you just pit not too long ago?
Yeah, I pitted, made some changes, and, well, apparently they didn't work.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was wondering maybe if you had left a qualifying setup on or something, but just an ill-handling race car for you here this evening, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was an ill-handled car, but better luck next time, you know.
Yeah, Roger, sorry about that. Hey, before we let you go, though, who you going to give a shout-out to?
Oh, I'd like to give a shout out to Rand Morsefarmers, to Randy and Daryl, and helping put the car setups together, and shout out to Kenny, all the guys who put the league on this year, and you guys for taking the broadcast. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, bud, and better luck to you. Hopefully you get that thing fixed and get back out there.
10-4, thank you.
All righty, of course, that was John Binder, driver of the of Big Al's favorite car, the Sundrop machine. Of course, into 23. At the moment, a little bit of an update on what's going on the racetrack when it comes to the championship. Derek Heitman, of course, out front. Not a playoff driver or not a member of the championship four, but Patrick Gitter right now is in the lead of the championship four drivers. And it looks like he is in the best position to possibly take the title home. But, of course, things could change here as we're almost halfway through this stint. Of course, Matt DeCiani almost 2 seconds back behind Gitter. What do you think DeCiani could do differently here to possibly overcome this Big Al?
Save, Brian. I think that's going to be the key. He's got to try to conserve in it, and then maybe be able to drive freer later. But right now, the faster, harder you drive, the earlier this is going to make it. It's going to make it miserable in the long run. As the 29 of Mark Sanchez comes off the pit road.
Yeah, looks like we got green flag stops here for Mark Sanchez, and we're getting closer and closer to that time when a lot of these drivers are going to think more and more about those green flag stops. And speaking of green flag stops, we talk about how dangerous pit road can be on the entry. Well, we haven't talked about how dangerous it is on the exit. One thing about it, about Phoenix, is when you exit pit road, you're exiting onto the dog leg where a lot of drivers are on. They're out there driving on that.
Yeah, you're down in the middle, and they could actually come right across your nose. So you have to be very vigilant once you're doing that.
100%. One driver I've been very, very impressed with is Ben Miller Bonds here tonight. He's, of course, up to that fourth place position. He's starting to challenge Matt DeCiani. I'm telling you, this guy, I feel like if he had started the Super Cup season on time with everybody else, he would be up here fighting for a championship four or for a title.
Well, where is he at in this season?
That's definitely a good question.
Yeah,
Taking a look at that right now, we're going to look at the points for the Cup Series season. Of course, Passalacqua right now at the top of the board. Patrick Gitter is in second. Derek Heitman's in third. Josh Schaffner's in fourth. DeCiani's in fifth. Bill Bonds is actually back in sixth right now. Surprised. I kind of thought his points would be better than that, considering he's been very, very consistent here lately. But here he comes to the inside of Matt DeCiani. As I do believe we're coming up to 45 laps to go.
45 laps to go. 50 laps.
55, I should say.
Yeah.
My math ain't working too good. I'm from South Carolina. Y'all forgive me.
I was like, whoa, what? Yeah, because we should be getting ready. We're on the cusp of green flag pit stops. That's the next thing that should be happening, you know, unless there's a caution. Green flag pit stops looks like they're underway. It's Ryan Strunk. Is down pit road.
And you see, of course, Brandon Passalacqua. He's been starting to surge ahead here. He's caught up to Matt DeCiani. Looks like he's having a little bit of a late race resurgence. As well as Josh Schaffner's falling back all the way to 10th place now. We saw Schaffner was working his way forward, but unfortunately he is starting to struggle here in that 50 machine.
Man, Strunk spending some time on pit road. Not sure what that was about.
Might have been repairing something there on that race car.
Oh, my bad. 14.1 seconds. It just seems like forever. Sousa now down on pit road. Yeah, it just seemed like he'd been down there for a couple of days, you know.
Not a couple days. That's a long time to be on pit road. A couple days. As here comes Jeffrey Souza. He's going to stop in his box.
Yeah, do you think we'll see a DeCiani move? The 25 bobbled, I think, on the entrance to pit road.
I don't know. Matt DeCiani's starting to have some issues. I think he's deciding. I think he's coming to pit road here.
I think the 25 kind of bobbled it going to pit road.
Here comes DeCiani right now. And of course, you see who we were talking about, Greg Carr. He's on pit road right now, filing his way into his box. Now, when does Patrick Gitter decide to come down? I think that was kind of like a desperation shot there for Matt DeCiani. But no, here comes Gitter. Gitter's coming to pit road. Now, this is going to be the money stop, the stop for the season, essentially here.
Yes, right here, yep, absolutely.
Because
you're going to have to make it work. Whatever you get when you come out of pit road is what you're going to have to make work. And that's it. You know, no crying, no whining. Everybody has one shot at it.
Yeah, and one thing about it as well is, unlike the NASCAR Cup Series where you got your pit crew to blame if something goes wrong, oh, it was a slow pit stop. You don't have that here in iRacing. It's on you. You know, you are the one that is, you hold your own destiny here in iRacing.
Yeah, you have to put that bad boy as squared as you can if you want to get a smooth and fast release.
That's right. Here comes, of course, Derek Heitman.
And it does matter.
It does. It very much does. If you stop just a little to the left, I mean, that could be an extra 10th on your pit stop. Of course, Shane Parrish as well coming to pit road. So we got a lot of drivers that have pretty much came to pit road. Ryan Johnson, though, your leader, in the outside wall a little bit there.
Chris Johnson's pit road. Kenny Powell's down pit road as well. The 8 of Frank Flores pit road.
So at the moment, Ryan Johnson getting ready to probably come down pit road very, very soon. Josh Schaffner, he's in second place. Both of these drivers need to pit. Randy Belk as well, still out there. Greg Wachinski. You see the battle is on. Of course, for what is, I do believe, going to be the net lead. Derek Heitman has Patrick Gitter right there behind him. And even though DeCiani short-pitted these drivers, he did not gain any time, really. He is now mired back in 8th. As well as Brandon Pasalacqua. Did not really gain a whole lot on pit road there. This is not a good situation. Pasalacqua came into pit road, Big Al, right behind, I do believe, essentially Bonds and Patrick Gitter. He was right there behind those guys. But unfortunately, he did not seem like he had the exit that he needed. So this could have been the death nail, possibly for Pasalacqua. I think a lot of these drivers might have lost their chance to win this championship unless we see a caution and some fortune.
Oh, you spoke it into it. Don't speak it, they say. But I think you're absolutely spot on. And right now, it's like I was saying, if these drivers are coming off a pit road, they're really cutting their own luck, because now you got to drive for it. I mean, that's it. Oh, got a car sideways into the wall. Should not be a caution. Be waiting to see who that is. Who was that?
Not exactly sure who that was. Didn't get to see eyes on it myself. See if I can't find it.
Ryan Strunk. It would have been Mr. 77 of Ryan Strunk.
Looking back at him now, and I think I have found it. Up sideways right there in front of the leader, Heitman. Or, of course, the net leader, Heitman. almost had his race ended right there because of Ryan Strunk.
Brian
Strunk
Johnson.
hits the wall very hard.
Brian Johnson, pit road.
And you see, of course, like you said, Brian Johnson making his way onto pit road right now. Josh Schaffner still out on the racetrack. And I think this is Josh Schaffner being desperate, I think, in a lot of ways. Him staying out this long. He is hoping for a caution, I do believe. And Ryan Strunk, that was the closest. He almost had it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Stranger things have happened, Brian. But not to be the case thus far tonight. Green flag racing continues. Brian Johnson's going to get his pit stop completed, and he is back out onto the racing surface. Still waiting on the 5-0, though, to come on down here and get himself 4 good years and some.
I don't think he's going to come down anytime soon. I think this is Schaffner's shot. He is shooting his shot right now. He's like, I got 92 laps that I can make it on a fuel window here. And he's going to use every bit of them laps, I do believe, because he knows that if he stays out and if he still has track position and a yellow flag comes out, he can win this race.
I mean, that's what we're talking about on championships, and maybe that's why he was in the back. Maybe his plan is to do exactly what he's doing, Brian. Maybe he has found a way that he can even extend it. Who knows?
So you're saying that possibly he has been saving fuel to try to make it to the end. Because, of course, this final stage, about 100 laps. Fuel window's 92. If you can save 8 laps or so, you can cut out a pit stop and might win the race. But I don't know. That's tricky. I don't think it would. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. This is curious.
Well, if anybody knows how many laps they can get in there, it's going to be Schaffner. He would have been turning laps. I guarantee you he was turning laps, all week long. Especially this track, really, the championship as well. Expect the unexpected. So I think that's exactly what you're going to get. But I definitely think he's going to run it, let it go, because it's really only 66 laps. I don't think tires are going to be an issue for him right now.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty far into this run.
Yeah, 29 seconds there. That's substantial. He's almost 2 seconds off the pace. So.
Yeah, no, I think he's just. This is just a desperation right here, I think. And it could play off. We've seen desperate calls lead to race wins and championships. It's really possible. If you're going to make a desperate play, a Hail Mary pass, you do it on the championship game, right? And I can't say I fault him for it. He's trying to get this title in any way he knows he can. But I think let's take I think now's a good time. Now the pit stops have all kind of finished. Let's take a brief step away, pay some attention to our sponsors. We'll be back to see if maybe we get this caution that Schaffner's wishing for. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms. From camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
There, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm still talking, bro. We get a hug, man. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Ow.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the ISCA Thursday Super Cup Series. A little bit of an update. Josh Schaffner, of course, still in the lead, has yet to pit, as we are less than now 30 laps to go here in this event. Derek Heitman, of course, about 8 seconds back from Schaffner right now, and definitely quickly closing that gap. Of course, at the moment, Patrick Gitter, our championship one of the championship favorites, I should say. He's in third place. Now, if Schaffner can make it to the end on gas, it is not really going to help him, just considering the simple fact that he is turning laps that are much slower than the rest of the field. So Patrick Gitter, at the moment, is, I think, the odds-on favorite. Big Al, do you have any disagreements with that? What do you think?
Man, I get paid to support your opinion.
Is that right?
Oh.
Well, what have you been doing this whole time then? Because you sure have not been supporting my opinion.
Sometimes you're just a little bit out there, but on this one, I think you're spot on.
I hear you. Thank you. Definitely, I agree with myself. Yep. I'm telling you, I'm just shocked. Usually, Big Al has got some sort of different insight. But I think Patrick Gitter is definitely in the prime position right now. He's got about, I do believe, 2 seconds, a little bit over 2 seconds on Matt DeCiani. And I really got to say that I thought Matt DeCiani was going to be the one that I think was going to unseat Gitter. I mean, just the late season that we've seen from him, I've seen a lot of, just flickers of light and potential of DeCiani to beat Gitter. I mean, Gitter was the best, I'd say, early in this season. But I think DeCiani really, especially like the last couple weeks, he's just been showing such good long-run pace compared to Gitter.
And this track really probably doesn't lend itself to the most competitive racing. And that's a big deal, too, as you come down to the end of this thing. With 24 laps to go, we're so spread out now that the chances of actually seeing some dynamic side-by-side racing are slim to none. So barring some, catastrophic failure ending to this thing, everybody's pretty much just going to drive home, so to speak, to the end of this.
Yeah, and I think that's the catastrophic failure is probably what Josh Schaffner's been looking for. He's now got 5 seconds on Derek Heitman, and quickly that gap is disappearing, and he is wanting desperately for some sort of a caution to come out to give him a chance at a championship. Because, if a caution came out here and he restarted from the lead, he would have a very good opportunity, a good chance to walk away with a title. And, of course, you got to think how much that would mean to the Paradigm team. I mean, to have their first season in competition garner them a championship.
Yeah, spot on. You know, because anytime there's a championship involved, there's always going to be some kind of a dynamic story. You don't just win these things by showing up week in and week out. You know, everybody has to go, you know, unless you're like me. Most people have to go through some sort of strife in their life in order to you know, it takes work to be a champion. That was a joke about what I was saying earlier, unless you're me, but it takes a lot of hard work, dedication. I mean, you're yeah. Schaffner's probably, you know, I'd be interested to see how many laps Schaffner turned this week.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot more work in it than just showing up and racing. I mean, you gotta be working on the setup, making the adjustments on the race car. There's a lot. I mean, it's just like an iceberg in a lot of ways. I mean, really, the surface of the iceberg doesn't show the whole thing, right? I mean, there's a lot below the surface that we're missing here as the audience of this race. You know, the Paradigm and EPI guys spent a lot of time working on their race cars and also just, you know, practicing to get the. I mean, this is not an easy track. This track takes a lot of. You got to hit your marks.
Man, under 20 to go. Schaffner's still out there showing the way. He slowly has Derek Heitman gobbling up and getting bigger in his rearview mirror. That is inevitable. But yet further behind Heitman, he's got the 21, Patrick Gitter. Gitter, the only one that really has a shot of taking the candy away from Schaffner. So let's just say that if Schaffner had been conserving, because that's what he's been doing. He's been doing that the whole race. Do you think he might actually have the tooth to end this thing?
I don't know. It's coming down close to the wire here. I mean, I think we're coming up close to 15 to go. So, I mean, Schaffner would have to definitely be able to hold off Patrick Gitter here. That's who he's looking at. If Heitman gets by him, that doesn't matter. That's just the race win. He's worried about the championship.
Yeah, Heitman's there. There's the 54 of Randy Mullins is going to be coming off of pit road. Heitman's there. That's no doubt. You're dealing with Heitman sooner than later, but yet you still are worried about the 21. That's the guy that you're racing right now. You're racing the 21 in the slot.
But can Schaffner even make it on gas? I mean, that's a big if. I mean, he would have to save, like I said, I mean, 8 laps or something like that. I mean, that's a lot to have to try to save.
You think so?
Yeah. No, I definitely think so. I mean, that's a lot.
8 miles going downhill. Derek Heitman has actually gotten by Josh Schaffner. So other than that, Brian, any shot that he even would have of a championship is like slowly fading away.
Well, he's coming up closer and closer to that 10 lap to go mark. I mean, I think 13 to go right now, coming up to 12 to go. I mean, let me look at the stints here for Schaffner. And looking at it right now, Schaffner has been out here for 89 laps, now 90 laps. The projected fuel window Big Al was 92.
Yeah, that's just whatever though. Those aren't accurate numbers. That's just an estimate.
Numbers are an illusion.
It's based on loose math.
That's Kenny Powell math.
Well, Kenny don't set those rates.
No, he definitely does. He sets those. He's the one that gives us the estimated fuel.
Oh, the 21 is getting closer. Oh, my pressure.
I think it's all said and done here soon. I think Gitter is going to catch Schaffner. Schaffner's still hoping for some sort of caution. He needs something to go his way
one
here.
thing to catch, you still got to pass him. Come
That's
on,
true,
Iceman.
but I mean, he's on 40, 50 lap older tires than you.
So that way, if he does get wobbly, Schaffner pit road. And I was hoping he'd get a held out and did it.
No, he just didn't have enough gas. I think that
ain't got no gas in it. That's what's wrong with
it. Man.
10 laps to go, though. Derek Heitman looks like he is in perfect position to win this thing, but the 21 of Patrick Gitter is going to get it done. And as you said, he was your favorite. Now, unless something happens here that's out of the stratosphere, I mean, I think you're right. I think he's going to walk right into it.
Josh Schaffner comes down into the box, takes the gloves off, and I think that shows the signs of defeat from the 50 machine. Tried his best, pulled out all the stops to try to win this race.
Hoping for that
unfortunately, it
caution.
wasn't enough. It was not enough. As Derek Heitman right now has almost 5 seconds on Patrick Gitter at the moment. It's Patrick Gitter
Heitman's
right now in the slot to win this race. Should I say championship?
Yeah, Heitman's still doing what Heitman does, man. He's out front in the good air leading this thing. And that's where he is elected to be. Now, he is slowly gobbling up on the 24 Kenny Powell. Once he does get up and around Powell, that's going to put just 9 cars on the lead lap.
And this
Think
is
about that.
I mean, I've heard a lot of drivers complain as well. This week has been very official. You know, the officials have been a lot of cautions. This has not been the case here.
Not the case here, indeed. 1 caution is all we had outside of the stage breaks.
Yeah, I mean, they've been having a lot of cautions in at Phoenix. But that's one thing about ISCA. You always expect to have very, very clean racing. And they definitely, this whole season, we've had nothing but clean racing. As we coming up to 5 laps to go, Derek Heitman now over 5 seconds is his lead. And what a dominant performance the 76 has put on. Of course, started this race on the pole and has led a bunch of laps.
Yeah, a bunch of laps. That's an accurate statement. Somewhere right there in the middle of a championship, that's where he was at.
But the unfortunate thing for Derek Heitman is he has no way to win the title. Patrick Gitter is the man to beat right now, as he, of course, has over 3 seconds on Matt DeCiani. But anything could still go wrong, but I don't think it will. Like you mentioned earlier, we've seen these guys pretty spread out. And unfortunate, I bet the Paradigm Group dejected, probably not in the best of moods right now, considering they've had such a good season, but just was not able to have the race they needed at the end of the season. As you see Brian Johnson racing hard with Jeffrey Souza.
What do you think they would attribute it to?
I don't know. I do not know. And I'm sure they're going to be trying to figure that out, though, Big Al. I guarantee that. They're probably going to go back and watch this one. They're going to save the replay. They're going to, just like almost like you go back and tape a football game and and you figure out exactly what did we do wrong to not win that title.
Yeah, with 2 laps to go. Championship all but in the hands of Patrick Gitter.
As well as you see Matt DeCiani just got passed by Miller Bonds. Bonds going to move up into the 3rd place position. I think, yeah, that's your Alabama buddy. He's going to be up in the booth with us, Big Al.
Absolutely.
And here we go. White flag is out in the air. Derek Heitman goes through, of course, 1 and 2 for the final time here at Phoenix. On to the backstretch. He will win. He started on the pole and led the most laps here tonight. And he's going to take care of business in the desert. And he takes the victory, crosses the start-finish line. Derek Heitman, your winner here. And I think that's, and man, this guy has definitely been he's been taking these guys to school here as of late. Of course, Patrick Gitter, though, the bigger storyline is your champion. He able to best Matt DeCiani, Brandon Pasalacqua, and Josh Schaffner. Now hoists the biggest trophy on the ISCA. We'll go ahead and do, of course, run down through the final results here. And that show, of course, Derek Heitman, as we mentioned, winning this race by over 6 seconds. But Patrick Gitter, champion. Miller Bonds, of course, comes home in 3rd place. Brian Johnson in 4th. Matt DeCiani in 5th. Jeffrey Souza, 6th place. 7th place, Brandon Pasalacqua. 8th place, Shane Parrish. 9th, Kenny Powell. 10th, Randy Belt. Of course, 11th, Greg Wychinski.
12th is going to be Josh Schaffner. 13th, Greg Carr. 14th place is going to be Frank Flores with Mark Sanchez in 15th. 16th shows out in the car with Randy Mullins in 17th. 18th is Chris Johnson. 19th, Ryan Strunk. 20th is John Binder. 21st is Jerry Walters. 22nd is Allison Nolan. And Derek Jacobs rounds out this 23 car field.
And, of course, you see right here Patrick Gitter doing some great celebrating here after winning this championship. And you can tell, I bet he is just probably in somewhat of disbelief here. As, of course, you see Derek Heitman comes up to give a little bit of a congratulations to the 21. After a season's worth of work has, of course, paid off for Patrick Gitter. We're going to take a quick step away. We'll come back and we'll talk to our top 3 finishers and, of course, our champion.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms. From camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
There, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tough, bro. We get a hug, man. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, of course, to the ISCA Thursday Super Cup Series post-race show for the Super Cup Championship. Of course, first off, we're going to be talking to Miller Bonds. Big Al is standing by with the driver of the 12 machine.
Miller Bonds, Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. What y'all up to, boys?
Hey, not much, man. Solid run for you guys here tonight. You came into this thing, started in 7th place, ran pretty consistent through the first 2 stages, and were actually able to bring it home here in 3rd place overall. So that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Oh yeah, always podium finish always gets you going. Good car tonight. Real good long run speed, and we're gonna keep it straight between the navigational beacons, I guess.
So with this championship of the Super Cup being done, now we get to focus more in on the ISCA championship. I do believe you're currently 7th overall. Couple good strong stage finishes here tonight's going to help your effort out overall. What are you thinking about the competition, and what are your goals at the end of this season?
Yeah, man. I everybody here races real good. There are a lot of talented drivers here, and man, anytime I come to the track, I want to finish top 5. Tonight will definitely help get a few more points in the standings, but a lot of tough competition, so it's gonna be tough to beat out some past Lockwells and Getters and Derek and everybody else. But every night's an opportunity.
Every night's an opportunity indeed, and you get an opportunity to race with some of the best in our racing right here with these guys. What was your preparation for this week, and what are you thinking about next week?
Man, honestly, I didn't get a whole lot of time to practice this week. Young daughter had the Rona, and but luckily yesterday and today put some good long run practice sessions in, and had a good night tonight. So, but yeah, great race.
Not sure exactly what track we got on the schedule next week. Maybe Kenny will butt in and yell at us. Kansas. All right. So what can we expect to see from you guys next week at Kansas?
Man, hopefully another podium, right? I hadn't done any prep for it or anything like that, but it's a good track, and I'm excited for next Thursday.
All right, I'm gonna write it down. It'll be a little bit more challenging, even with the looking for setups. But hey, congratulations again on your 3rd place finish. Before we let you go, who you shouting out tonight?
Yeah, man, my wife Brandon, daughter MJ, buddy Justin, and you guys up in the booth, Ken Byron with Ryko, great setup tonight, and Kenny running the league. I had a great time, and congrats to Patrick for winning the series here.
All right, man. Hope your baby girl gets to feeling better, man, and we'll hope to see you on the podium again next week. And as I always say, don't party too hard, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, bud.
All righty, that was Miller Bonds of the 12 machine. Definitely fantastic performance here for him tonight. Next up, we're going to go ahead and talk to our race winner. And, of course, that'll be Derek Heitman. We're going to save the best for last. We'll talk to Patrick Gitter, our champion, here after we talk to the race winner. Derek, what a schooling you put on this field here. Led 79 laps. You started from the pole, and you won stage 2. Just a really great day for you, man. I mean, it seemed like you just had the pulse for this racetrack.
Yeah, I just really figured something out. I feel like probably in the last beginning of this race to the start of the 3rd stage, I was still kind of learning what I needed to do because it was only my 2nd time running this setup this week, so I just wanted to get. Not the first time running not this track. I was about to lose my mind. No. 2nd time running this setup this week, so I was kind of learning as I went on. I just wanted to kind of see what I could do, and I kind of figured it out by the start of stage 3, and was able to get where I needed to be with the positioning to have a shot to win it at the end, and all in all, it worked out.
Yeah, definitely did for you for sure. But great job at your first time at this racetrack. Wow, just crazy to see. You able to hit the ground running like that. But now, a really good job to you. Seemed like you definitely had this place nailed down pretty good. What was it like racing out there with guys that were going after a title? I mean, was that on the back of your mind at all?
It was on the back of my mind, obviously not to wreck them. But I mean, prior to this race, Matt, he said, "Hey, as long as no one's around us and it's not gonna like affect the race, actually race him, so he can get all the practice that he can for our next upcoming league race." And then Patrick in stage 2 definitely cut me a break when I caught back up to them. I assume he was just trying not to give anything away or see, exactly what pace was going to be like for me at the end of the race. I don't know, exactly what he was doing. But I mean, always racing against playoff guys. Going for a championship. I didn't want to mess anyone up. So I was definitely more cautious making passes than I typically would be. I didn't, run anybody tight for any reason. I gave everybody a lot amount of space, and I just don't want to be that guy.
Definitely understand that. Very, very respectable, for sure, Derek. Great job to you. Of course, you're doing really well in the Cup Series points. So, of course, everybody, even though they're fighting for a Super Cup championship title, there still is another championship going on at the same time. So, I mean, you definitely are well within your rights to try to race and get as many points as you can. Of course, next week's going to be a mile and a half Kansas. So interesting to see that. That's news to me that we're going there. So, I had some really good racing there. I'd say a little bit ago. How do you feel about that track? What are your prospects looking like there?
Well, last time we were at Kansas, we were really good. So I expect more of the same. It pretty much as long as it's not a paperclip that I have to race at, I'm normally fairly competitive. So I expect to be a front runner next week for sure.
All right, we look forward to seeing it, Derek. Who can we shout out after this big victory here tonight?
Of course, I got to thank NAMI, for the Northern Alliance of Mental Illness for their continued research and dedication to help those with mental illnesses. Definitely, of course, got to thank the primary sponsor on the car, No Kid Hungry. They provide over 10,000 meals for kids all around the world every single day. Especially with the world that we live in right now, I'm sure they're doing their part in order to make sure that those kids that need it get fed. And I can't thank Ken Byron and Ryko Performance enough this week. I mean, we started out the week a little off, and he really, really, really put his head down. We're on our 11th setup this week in order to get where we're at this week, and I mean, there's just absolutely no quit in this guy. A lot of dog in the fight, man. I mean, he doesn't like not being the quickest car on the track, so he always puts maximum effort throughout the week to make sure that we are the most competitive to his best ability and winning races by the end of the week. Definitely got to thank Prodigy Esports for bringing me on, Alex Murray, Brandon Edstrom, our team owners, for giving me this opportunity to join this team, and then Ken Byron for bringing me on this team as well.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, Derek, and congratulations once again on the victory, and we'll see you next week, brother.
Thanks, guys.
All righty, that was Derek Heitman, winner of the race, but winner of the championship is who we want to talk to next, Patrick Gitter. Man, I mean, it definitely looked like you had the the best shot at it there towards the end. We saw, of course, John Schompner with a Hail Mary pass to try to stay out as long as he possibly could. We were even wondering if he could maybe make it on fuel, but of course, you were the odds-on favorite there at the end. You've been one of the most dominant drivers all season long. How were you feeling, Patrick? Was there ever any doubt?
Yeah, man, I had my eye on my relative. I took 2 tires there on that last stop. I'd seen what Matt was able to do with 2 tires early in the race, so I took 2. So figured I needed to take a swing at it. Felt like I would lose less time taking 2 compared to the extra time I'd spent in the pits taking 4. And then, yeah, I mean, seeing Josh stay out, I was like, holy cow, is he going to be able to save enough to make it? So yeah, I mean, I had a few different situations kind of rolling through my head there to try to keep in mind coming into that thing.
Yeah, of course. I think we were up in the booth going through it as well, trying to analyze and say, I don't think he can make it. I think he can make it. I mean, we were just definitely trying to piece that puzzle together. But of course, you definitely seemed like you had the car to beat here tonight. Of course, DeCiani at some points was able to get out in front of you, and you weren't able to really make those passes stick. What do you think the main reason was that you were able to get in front of him? I kind of attributed it to you being able to start on the inside versus him starting on the outside.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of it. I mean, restart positions are huge at Phoenix. I mean, I think it was just getting a feel for the car. I mean, the car did feel a little bit different if you're on 2 tires, if you're on 4, trying to learn what it was going to do, driving different lines to figure out what was going to make the most pace throughout the run. So I think a lot of guys were just kind of experimenting, playing around, trying to do what they could to find some speed.
Well, you definitely showed some speed here tonight, man. Of course, you won the Super Cup championship. But of course, there's still more championships to be had. I mean, of course, the ISCA never stops. So we're gonna be racing on Christmas, brother. I don't know if you knew this, but I mean, we got some more championships to win. What do you think this does for your confidence level? Do you take a break? Do you kind of relax your mind a little bit, or is it always the next race?
I mean, I've always been very competitive on here. So maybe not the most vocal in race, but certainly very competitive, always wanting to push to see where I can improve. And the only way you're going to do that is to keep racing against other guys, race against the best, put yourself in uncomfortable positions and learn from it. And I think that's one thing that the ICA races here have really helped me out with this season, having long runs, green flag runs, learn what the car is going to do, how it's going to change throughout the run, and then just having some good competition to run with. So I've enjoyed that and just appreciate that.
All right, Patrick. Well, definitely a great job. Kansas next week coming up. I mean, like I said, kind of. Are you gonna relax? Are you gonna be right to getting ready for that?
Nah, I'm gonna move on. I'll move right into Phoenix. I mean, I really like the rest of the schedule this season for the A car. I know like Kansas, Chicagoland. I think Dover's on there, and then I think iRacing Super Speedway. So maybe I'll skip that week. But
Yeah, I thought that was next week.
the other, yeah, the other. I love the other 3 tracks. So yeah, man, I think it'll be keep on moving and jump in and race whenever I can.
All right. Well, after you getting this huge championship, of course, this is probably the most important moment. Who are you shouting out after hoisting this ISCA title?
Yeah, man. You guys in the booth, you've broadcasted all season consistently. You've done a great job with it. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to Kenny for running the league. It's been fantastic. Great green flag racing, great competition. Shout out to EPI and Team Conti. We've been running their sets all season. They've been fantastic. We've been strong all week. Martin PC, C12 Design Shop, they gave me a new paint this week. The guy that runs C12, he really put in some thought to the paint that I ran this week. It was kind of a throwback to what I was running at the beginning of the season. So that was really cool. I appreciate what he does over there. And then just shout out to the EPI teammates. I mean, Matt and the EPI guys have been fantastic to race with all season. Might not be here if it wasn't for them. So I just appreciate those guys. I'm excited to bring home the chip, and we'll keep on moving, keep on building, and we'll see what we got to bring next week.
All righty. Well, congratulations, Patrick. Thanks for your time, and definitely enjoy this one. We'll definitely see you next time, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All righty. That was Patrick Gitter, driver of the 21. He hoists the championship trophy, or the chip, as he so eloquently put it. But definitely a great race to everybody out there, and what a clean race. I mean, compared to the officials we've seen this week, they've definitely been a very, I'd say, caution field. But this race definitely was not like that, and we got to see really the who's who of who was the best this week, and definitely Derek Heitman was able to get that victory. Patrick Gitter able to get the trophy here, season best driver, that's for sure. As well as we got to see some really big battles between Matt DeCiani, as well as we saw Miller Bonds conclude the Super Cup Series with a third place finish. I mean, just a great race altogether. Big Al, any thoughts for you?
My thoughts are it's just a sneak peek of what's to come here in this next upcoming season. ISCA never, ever fails to they never disappoint. And it's all because of the drivers that we have here. And thanks to Kenny Powell for giving us the opportunity putting on a league. Thanks to you, Brian, for coming up with the words that I don't have. And as always, man, it's been a pleasure.
All right, with that, I think that draws us to the conclusion of tonight's broadcast. We appreciate you tuning in here for the ButtKicker 195 at Phoenix Raceway. And, of course, make sure you tune in next week at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the stream will go live. At Kansas, of course, race will go green flag at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big congratulations once again to Patrick Gitter, of course, for winning the championship, and Derek Heitman for winning the race itself. And also big thank you to everybody that participated in this event. My name is Brian Britt, and we'll see you next time.